Can you add a Maestro Vibrola to a Les Paul? Yes, you can. I've seen a few photos of people adding Maestro Vibrolas to their Les Pauls, but I've never seen a video explaining how to do it. Would it be different than adding it to a more flat body guitar that these trem systems are designed for? So today, I, a non-luthier with barely any experience with this type of stuff, am going to try to explain how I got it to work in a very idiot-proof way, because I myself am an idiot. Let's get to work. Alright, so before we get started, what you want to do is remove all the strings from your guitar. These are still generally new strings, so I just tucked them away to the side so I can reuse them after. And then the first thing that we're going to get rid of is the original bridge piece here, which you could just pop out like so, and unscrew these posts right here. Now, as you can probably see, I've already marked where I want the bridge to go, where each screw hole will be placed. And the way I measured that out was I just wanted to make sure it was completely center, so I took a long piece of painter's tape and I just measured out from the base of the nut all the way to the edge of the body, and I made sure that I created a completely straight line going from where the tailpiece would be going to the nut, so that way the strings are going straight through the tailpiece to the nut. Now if you're using this method, you can go ahead and carefully align where the bridge tailpiece would go. Again, making sure that that tape line goes directly in between here and straight up. And what I did was I just marked the holes right here with a Sharpie, so that way when you lift this, you will see where your markings will go, and that way you could just start drilling a little bit. That way once you place the plate on, it makes it a lot easier. I've already drilled these holes, so I'm going to just go ahead, remove the tape, and apply the tailpiece. Now the tailpiece comes with a variety of smaller screws, but the two biggest screws that you're going to have are going to be these. These are what are going to be holding the main part of the bridge in place. Now I'm not completely fastening these screws down, just so that way there's still some wiggle room to make sure all my other screw points are aligned. Now you're going to have 4 other smaller pointed screws like this that are going to be holding down the base of the bridge tailpiece here. We can go ahead and apply those now. Now once you have all the screws in place, I'm just going to do a quick pass around, make sure all of them are fastened tightly. A rule of thumb that I like to follow when fastening these down tight is I always do it by hand. I don't use the drill just in case. I don't want to risk stripping the screws or ruining the finish in any way. So we're just going to do a quick pass around. Now with all the screws secured tightly, we can go ahead and put this plate that we took off in the beginning back on for the finishing look. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and restring this thing and give it a quick setup, and let's see how it sounds. But before we hear the final product, I'd like to take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Guyker, who sent me this beautiful Maestro Vibrola for this project. Right now is a great time to pick up some gear during Guyker's December deals, where they're offering extra discounts to people who join their Facebook community, and you can use my code DRD for an additional 10% off your order, which not only saves you money, but also helps me out tremendously. So again, thank you to Guyker for this wonderful opportunity. Make sure you follow them on their socials as shown here, and without further ado, let's see how this thing sounds. I'm impressed. Guyker honestly really hit it out the park with this one, and I'm not just saying that because of the sponsor of the video, but I've used a number of these trem systems in the past. I have a Bigsby on my triple caster. I've had an SG that came with a Maestro Vibrola, much like this one, which I later replaced with a Maestro Vibrola. And a common issue with these trem systems is that you obviously sacrifice a bit of tuning stability in order to be able to do the silly little... But I mean, this thing is by far has the best tuning stability I have ever seen in a trem system. I mean, just... you can really just nail it and you'll go back into tune every time. It's really impressive. Because of tuning issues that I've run into with these types of tailpieces, I've mainly just resorted to just using them for aesthetic purposes, because, I mean, look how fucking cool that looks, man. But this is honestly the first guitar where I actually feel comfortable being able to use it for its intended purpose. using a trem system as a trem system and not just a flashy bridge. It's honestly incredible. And it does answer my age-old question of could a Maestro Vibrola work on a Les Paul? I think it does. I think this thing looks really fucking cool, man. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any suggestions or if you noticed anything that I did wrong, which I'm sure I did, I'm not a luthier by any means. This is like the second guitar that I've added a trem system to. So if you have any suggestions, please feel free to leave them down in the comments. If you have something nice to say, leave it in the comments. If you have something mean to say, still say it in the comments because it still allows this video to gain traction. So thank you once again to Guyker for reaching out, sending me this beautiful Maestro Vibrola. And if you'd like to pick one up for yourself, again, I'll leave a link in my bio. Don't forget to take advantage of their December deals, and you can use my code DRD for an extra 10% off your order. I'm used to doing TikToks, so I don't know how to end this thing, so...